Okay. Hey guys, Jace over here at Yinc Marketing. Today we're going to do a 10-minute presentation to just kind of show you guys, well, I like to call it the 10-minute webinar. We're going to show you guys exactly what we do. I got Wes here. Wes, say hi.
How you doing?
Okay, Wes is kind of going to go over a case study we just did for a client. Mainly this webinar is to show you guys a little bit about what we do, how we do it, why it's effective. And like I said, I want this to be about 10 minutes. So here's a slide. I did this presentation a couple weeks ago for a speaking gig. So first off, main thing about most businesses is they have a hard time getting their message out there. They struggle with getting leads. They struggle with getting traffic. How it all started was basically, let me go to the next slide. And I can kind of explain where it all started. So I'm going to explain a little bit about myself. I'm obviously father of four. I started a company called YDraw a while back. YDraw started the whiteboard animation field. From YDraw, we kind of broke off Yinc. We noticed there was a lot of people that were struggling with video ads, video marketing, running traffic, and so we started Yinc Marketing. It's been around for a couple years now. Wes, he's the CMO. He's kind of the chief marketing officer, and I basically run the company. Okay, so that's a little bit about myself, and we will jump right in. Keep screwing up on the slides. Okay, so how does everything work? So when we come on board with a company, we focus on four main things. Okay, our job is to get your message in front of your audience. If you don't have a message, that's where YDraw comes in place. They will go out there and create your message and tell your story. Okay, we like you to show up everywhere. We love YouTube ads. There's ways you guys can go out there and put your videos in front of your competitors' videos. You can go out there and put your message in front of audience who's looking for your product and service. Let's say they go on YouTube and they search how to change, like a plumber, how to do plumbing on my house. Well, if you're a plumber, if you create a video, you can run ads there. So we love YouTube marketing. We love Facebook marketing. What we do on Facebook marketing is we do the same thing. We take your message, we find the target audience who you're going after, and then we will run them ads. Well, with that comes PPC, pay-per-click, same idea. Once again, when people are searching for your product or service, we want to pop up. Now, a lot of times people aren't doing YouTube ads. They aren't doing Facebook ads. They aren't doing PPC. And we kind of have the philosophy that you need to be doing all of it. Now, you might not want to spend as much money in YouTube as you do PPC or the other way around. It just depends all on your ROI. And that's what we focus on, is return on investment. So those are our four core. Well, I gave you three. Our last one's email marketing. So when we come on board, we like to create email campaigns. Got it? Okay, so you want to communicate with your audience that suffers from ADHD. Whenever we create ads, videos, we realize that you only have about 5 seconds to hook somebody's interest and 30 seconds till they decide if they're going to do business with you. So everything we create is engaging, especially on YouTube, especially on Facebook. We want it to grab attention. Okay, and if you want, you can jump over to our website. We do have our website. I put a link over on the side of this hangout where you guys are able to go, and up along the top you're going to see our YouTube tab, you're going to see our Facebook tab, you're going to see our email tab, and then the PPC. And they'll just explain exactly how we do it. There's a few write-ups. We have blogs. We have the Yinc University where you can educate yourself. If you don't want us to do it, you guys can turn around and do it yourself with our education. Budget killers, I did want to do a word of warning. Most companies fail because they don't watch certain things. Budget killers, like I've had a lot of clients that come to us and say, hey, we've already done YouTube ads. They didn't work for us. Well, I can go through these and realize, hey, they messed up. They didn't watch their budget. They let their ads run on the wrong videos. Same goes with PPC. Same goes with Facebook ads. The reason most people fail is because they don't pay attention to it, or they don't know what they're doing. Okay, so you want to check your ads often. Make sure you're not playing on kids' videos. Make sure you're showing up in the right spot. Don't have too broad of an audience, especially on Facebook. You can have 20 million if you'd like. You need to be 2,200,000, sometimes 1,500. That's kind of the size you want to look at doing. Okay. So that's it. So here's what I want to do. I want to have Wes. I'm going to bring up his slides. So main reason for this is to show you guys a little case study that we did for a client. Let me take this out.
So, and as Jace is pulling that up, some of you, if you've read Jace's emails in the past, some of you might recognize me from the proofreader that got fired.
Yes.
I'm officially no longer proofreading Jace's emails. But basically what I want to walk you guys through is our last experience with one of our clients. And it was a unique experience in a few ways. And Jace's pulling it up now, but I got a call from this client and they told me, okay, we have a conference in Brazil and we have 2 weeks to get signups. We need help filling the seats. And so we said, great. We hadn't advertised in Brazil before, but we knew that Brazil was the second biggest platform for YouTube, and Facebook was very popular there. So we could use our same systems we already had in place. They gave us a $20,000 budget to spend. And by the time we'd worked everything out and got the contract signed, we had about 8 days to spend it. So we were trying to figure out, okay, how can we effectively spend this budget in a small amount of time and make sure we're getting qualified leads. What also made this challenging is a qualified lead meant these people were able to invest about $500,000 into the service. So it made it, we had to make sure we were very targeted. Well, and then to add to it, the first 2 days we were running ads, Facebook had some issues and we didn't get them running till about a day and a half in. So that cut our time to 6 days to generate enough leads to fill all the seats for this conference. Now, Jace, if you'll go to the next slide.
Okay.
Basically what we did, we started out, we created 11 campaigns. And the reason we created 11 campaigns is because we needed to test images, headlines, and as many audiences as we could in a very short amount of time. So we built them all out at once and started running them. We saw a lot of things happen. Initially, we set our budget at about $1,000 a day, and we were spending about 300. Facebook would spend as much as it could and stop about 300. And so it took about 3 days for us to start hitting our full budget. But as the budget increased, we saw better conversion rates and better click rates to the website. In this next slide, you're seeing basically our most influential ad, where we had just over 14,000 clicks. Our clicks to the website were 18 cents. And this one was interesting though, because we went a little bit broader on this, but we did target obviously their demographic. What really turned the corner for us, because as we were creating these ads, we saw we were obviously seeing a lot of numbers, but we had to spend a lot of money and stay targeted. So if you go to the next slide, what really turned the corner for us, we knew we needed to get to the wealthiest in São Paulo. So we actually searched the most expensive neighborhoods in São Paulo and read a few articles and hopped on a few real estate sites to make sure we were finding the most expensive places to live. And then we actually went into Facebook and picked the location from the latitude, longitude, and then we're able to target multiple neighborhoods, multiple wealthy neighborhoods to generate these high quality leads. We didn't get as many clicks on those, but the clicks that did come were very high quality and turned to our most qualified leads. The other thing, so Facebook worked out really well for us once the Facebook allowed us to run our ads. The second thing we did was YouTube. We obviously wanted to hit as many people as we could, but we had to make sure it mattered. So initially we set our targeting budget at 2 cents a view. So our first 3,500 views we were getting for 1 cent. Once we had run that for a day and a half, the campaign stopped. So we bumped up our targeting a little bit higher. And then in the end, we ended up getting just under 80,000 views at 3 cents per view. And so our reach was very strong on YouTube. And we got really targeted with some placement and different things like that. But so a lot went right. We had some issues, but in the end, we ended up generating enough leads to force them to move their conference to, basically they had to move their conference because we generated too many qualified leads for them to make sure everyone fit. And
what was Wes? You can tell them the number. How many leads did we get? So we got in the 300. What was it?
So we spent we ended up only spending $10,000 of their budget. We got 368 leads, and about 100 of them were qualified to invest that much. And so it was huge numbers. We were only hoping to generate about 50. So we doubled our goal. And that what's great for this client is if they close one of those sales, they've made their money back. So it was a great campaign.
Yeah, like they'll make it back 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So that is a good thing. So and I noticed some of these numbers. I mean, 3 cents a view. That's pretty typical. This is for Brazil, so you do get a little less. If you're over in the United States, it's going to be a little more than 3 cents a view. The biggest thing was this client came to us. Hey, we were on a big crunch, but that's exactly what we do. We took his message, we ran Facebook ads, we ran YouTube ads, and we got him leads. So Yinc, if you guys want to go check us out, go over to Yinc.com, Ymarketing.com. Just read about what we do. And the whole goal is we want you guys to get an ROI. We want to run your Facebook ads. We want to run your YouTube ads. And there's all these little things that we know and understand that a lot of companies don't. So if you have questions, we're around. You can contact Wes. His email is wes@yincmarketing.com. You can always email me, and that's jace@yincmarketing.com, or just go over onto yincmarketing.com and fill out our contact form. Okay? That is it. We will be around. Talk to you later. Bye, Wes.
Peace.